Though 36 years old and with 15 seasons of full competition behind him, gives no signs of nearing the end of his amazing career.
Art Monk is now number one, the most prolific pass receiver in the National Football League history. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
This is Harry Hog Football, the original Redskins fans podcast. On today's show, we talk about the debacle of a game between the Washington Redskins and the New York Giants, and how we could have went to the playoffs, but we didn't. Hey, look on the bright side, we get a better draft pick. This and much more live with Aaron, Josh, and John. Yo, what's up, y'all?
Yo, what's happening?
Yo, what's up? What's up?
Excellent. We totally lost Josh on the YouTube.
What are you talking about? I'm here.
Oh my goodness. Oh, there you are. Okay.
What do you mean? I see myself.
It switched to two John pictures for a second.
It was like double John.
I don't know why it did that. Anyway.
With double John.
I see it. It's double John. I see it.
Oh, there it is. There I am. Double John.
And one John has like the side of a window.
There you are.
And the other one is.
I'm back. I don't know.
One, I'm at the stadium.
You know what? I did that because I didn't have enough to share with all of our listeners. Oh wait, I do, because there's nobody listening right now.
No one's on after all of our publicity for this.
We have 4 people watching right now. It says so.
There's double John.
Double John.
All right, here, I'm going to a different feed and see if this fixes it.
Double John.
All right. We tried some last minute changes on the video feed. It just...
I'm having some amazing homemade pot roast that Amy made for me. Because at the end of the season, you need a little home cooked love to make you feel a little bit better about yourself.
Oh, dude.
The name of this episode is Double John.
Double John pot roast.
Double John pot roast.
Anyway, everybody, welcome to Harry Hog Football, episode number 425, in which the Redskins, for the fitting 25th year in a row, blew it and did not win the Super Bowl.
Dude, how come John is sitting on your shoulder and I'm like way off screen? I don't understand what's going on here.
You need to lean in.
Yeah, how'd I get
You need to pull me in over here, dude.
Pull me over.
I told you I had to switch feeds because yours kept switching to double.
You gotta like grab John over here and go.
Hold on, do I
pull
need
him
to
over?
Do I need to switch over a little bit?
No, Josh does.
Where am I supposed to go?
Scoot in.
Scoot in where?
Anyway, everybody, it's in the
This
chat.
is all new technology for us here at Harry Hog Football. We've only done this 425 times, but with video, this is what, like
6.
I don't know, 6 or 7 or something.
Everybody, welcome to Harry Hog Football. I'd like to give a big shout out to our benevolent sponsor, Mr. Desmond C. Lee, who you can reach at Desmond C. Lee 2 on Twitter.
Yeah, that's because Desmond C. Lee 1 was
Already taken.
Hacked.
It was
Hacked by
I don't know. He's pretty pissed off today too. I'm sure.
I think he was
Even
hacked
though
by
it's
Russians.
2 days later, dude. Dude, I wasn't surprised.
Oh my
Wasn't
goodness.
surprised at all. I think last week people were like, "Oh, the Giants are going to start all the starters," and I was like, "I think they are, and I think they're going to beat us."
Yeah,
So
like
what happened?
And if you listen to the entire pregame, everything Chris Cooley and all those dudes were saying was, "There's no way they're gonna beat
I know.
us because they don't have any reason to play for today." So how can
Aaron,
they
I'm
win?
reaching up and grabbing your head, dude.
It's the wrong.
I was gonna say the same thing, man. Like as I'm listening to
wrong way.
John Riggins. As I'm listening to John Riggins, and he's just like, "Oh, there's no way the Redskins can't win this game. You know, I can't see them coming out of here without a win," and blah 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 blah.
Everybody. Oh yeah, I was grabbing the wrong way, dudes. Everyone in the world was just like, oh. Everyone in the Redskins world was like, oh, it's just a formality that we're going to beat. We're going to beat the Giants for the second game this year. No problem. We're going to go in and beat them, and it's not going to be hard, and blah, 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 blah. Like, I didn't hear anybody thinking that we weren't going to win this last game.
And the other thing was they were saying the Giants would be stupid to play their starters. They'd be stupid to play Eli this game. They'd be stupid to play Odell Beckham Jr. in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what did they do?
They didn't play him at all.
Mhm.
Not a snap.
Crazy.
Dinner time.
Dinner time. Dude, I can't even find the feed page anymore. So I'm trying to, figure out where to see if I can chat with people on here.
I'm already chatting, man. We're chatting it up in here, dude. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Chris J.
Chris J just came in and, well.
Yep.
Isn't it like 2 in the morning there?
That's a rude quote by you, Chris J.
No, I totally agree with him.
I can't even see it. So.
It's all about Chelsea getting ready to lose to Tottenham Hotspur tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pumped.
He's like moved on from football season back to football.
Yeah. Well, yeah, me too.
Oh, I better put my name behind that and say that I said it. There you go.
What'd you say?
I said I agree with you, Chris J. Go Blues.
And I just said Chelsea suck.
What did you say?
John Shaft, crazy. What's up?
Dudes. I try to talk and my microphone falls down. Guys, where do we begin on the game? Because it was probably, arguably, Kirk Cousins' worst performance on offensive line. The offensive line did not block for him very well at all.
In the first half, they weren't even there. I didn't even see an offensive line. I think they played with basically just a backfield and a couple of receivers. And, that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the same thing I saw?
I saw a lot of suck all the way around.
Matter of fact, I think that was our text throughout the entire first half, back and forth.
It was even suck by Jay Gruden doing what Jay Gruden does best, which is not monitoring the clock and having terrible clock management.
Let's talk
once
about
again.
Let's talk
once
about
again.
He
Dude, that
had
was
the ball
awful.
with, what, 2 minutes and 10 seconds left and 4 timeouts, including the 2-minute warning. The first part of that debacle was when they, for some reason, didn't get the snap off at the 2-minute warning, but if they would have, it would have been a fumble anyway. So there's the first part of the debacle.
Did that. There was that bad snap, but luckily they hit the 2-minute warning because they were like, oh, otherwise it would have been a fumble. And we would have been back on like the 2-yard line.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was awful, awful.
It doesn't matter, and I texted you guys this. It doesn't matter whether he's got 30 seconds left in the half, or and they've got the ball and he just takes a knee and wastes it every time, or he's got timeouts to burn and he doesn't use them and he just. I don't think he understands clock management.
He finds some way to screw it up.
Somebody show me otherwise. Show me where he really understands it.
You're right. You're exactly right on that, because it's the point where he's gotten to the point in his career as the Redskins coach that he should be able to understand a 2-minute offense and hit time and call timeout when you're supposed to call timeout. And he still does not know how to do that.
Dude, someone I was looking at on Twitter during that little phase of the game said, just take any 14-year-old that's played Madden a few times and get him to run the clock management for you.
Seriously.
Yeah. His son, Barf Jr., is there on the sideline. Just give it to him. Be like, Dad, call
He's
timeout.
like behind him the whole time, going like this.
Everyone in the stadium was going like this. What did they think
Yeah.
of that?
I know.
Yeah.
Dude, we wasted what was it, 25 seconds or something? And we
ended up having to do that long, 53-yard field goal. That was too long for Dustin Hopkins.
And we still had a timeout left on the clock.
Wasn't
because
it 57? It was a 57-yarder, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was a 57. You know who would know? Rabbit Rads.
No, it's not cereal. For those of you just joining us, I have some really awesome homemade pot roast.
And you got it on your face, dude. I see it right on your lip.
No, dude, that's a right here.
Oh, that's
I think that's a zit, dude.
Dude, you're a 40-year-old dude.
Do you really want me to
Chill.
share this with everyone? Look at that.
At least it's not herpes, we hope.
No. You got some
You're like the dudes in Spinal Tap, like the bass player.
it's some amazing pot roast though. Thanks for asking there, Alamo City.
Alamo City, yeah. Josh just got home from work on his way in, and he made it to the podcast in time. Anyway.
I did.
All right, let's talk about the game here. Rabbit Rads just brings up McVay is being interviewed by the 49ers. I thought it was the Rams, but whatever. How do you guys feel about McVay leaving? Yay or nay, or you're indifferent?
He's not leaving.
If he did, though, how would you feel?
We were talking about this before the podcast, dude.
Yeah.
John just told me I was 100% wrong.
Yeah.
Well, what about it?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I think McVay is going somewhere. I think he's going. I think when you look at,
go back behind the woodshed.
I don't know, dudes. I mean, look at the entire body of work that he did with the offense this past year. Let's grade it. Go.
The red zone offense was abysmal and last in the NFL.
Okay,
Sucked.
red zone. That's red zone.
Sucked.
That's where you score points.
Play calling was not that great. I think
That's
the
not
thing
where
that
we've been scoring.
Throwing the fade 5 times to Deshaun Jackson, who's the shortest receiver on the Redskins, was a questionable call.
And then abandoning your game plan every single game for at least a good portion of the game. Dude, I think
whether he's saying, "Oh yeah, we've gotten a lead, so we're just going to get pass happy," or "Oh, we've fallen behind, so we've got to get pass happy." The dude doesn't know. I know the running game is not exactly top of line, but I mean, looking at the offensive line, they should have been able to block better for the running game, and if not, we need to get more guys that can do so. Laval, Spencer Long, maybe.
Here's looking at you
like that.
Yeah, but here's my thing about McVay. I think the reason why he's even getting looks from coaches or from teams to be a head coach is because he benefited from. We have a lot of high caliber people on our offense, and I think that kind of covered up for some of the inadequacies in his play calling. Personally,
as opposed to the LA
so?
Rams or the San Francisco 49ers, who do not have Deshaun Jackson and Jordan Reed and Pierre Garçon.
I'm just not that impressed with him, dudes. I mean, maybe I'm alone with this, but I'm okay with him leaving.
You're not that impressed with McVay, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I don't know what these guys are saying. Michael Graff is saying McVay did nothing to counter the Giants' blitz. Yeah. I mean, how many sacks did we give up, Rabbit Rads? Speaking of, I never got an email from Rabbit Rads about that Josh said she was going to send me an email about coming on as the what? Injury report or something?
I don't know. You can try and send it to him again, Aaron at harryhawkfootball.com. If you send it to him at jerkwad at harryhawkfootball.com, you may not have gotten that.
It's true.
I think we may have blocked those other ones.
Oh,
How come my mic is all green screening out? Something's up.
I told
See
you,
my
dude,
mic?
it's something about your lighting. We need a lighting guy there. I don't
It's
know.
like my
You can
mic's
move your
not
mic a
really-
little bit away from you anyway because I got you and John sharing the same feed again because it screwed up and kept switching and double johnning. So I got to balance all that. We'll get that squared away.
Rad said she sent the email, but it didn't go through. So
Oh, really? Aaron, that's spelled with 2 A's, not E like a girl.
here, we're gonna do it right now.
Aaron, is your voicemail full over there or inbox?
My inbox is not full. It's AARON.
I already put it on the chat. Everybody's good.
Okay.
We have
Anyway.
7 people on the chat right now.
Oh, wow. Anyway, welcome everyone that's in the chat that hasn't been in there before. I hope you guys will get acquainted with one another and talk amongst yourselves. And chat with us. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Because if we get up to 100 subscribers, guess what? We get our own URL, so we don't have to put this long
Isn't it
link.
funny? It's like we maintain these, like the downloads from iTunes and everything is maintained at a really high. I mean, for us, I think it's high, like 10,000 downloads kind of a thing. But But then on YouTube, we have to get. It's like going back to zero.
I
We
know.
need 100 subscribers on YouTube. Crazy.
I mean,
We
I
need to
haven't
get-
even
we need
checked.
all these like
I haven't
PewDiePie
checked.
guys.
Yeah,
come
I
in here
haven't
and help us out.
PewDiePie. Yeah, I haven't checked in years on YouTube to see how many listeners we have. At our heyday, we were getting like 10,000 a week.
No, we had gotten up at one point. We had gotten over 20,000 a week, and then it was kind of dropping down and kind of staying right at 10. But
Like
anyway.
our listenership kind of mimics the Redskins season ticket
It
waiting
does. Like
list.
it falls off today. It totally falls off.
And we used to look at it, and after losses, it was way down, and then after wins, it was always up, and then right at the preseason, it would jump way up to you. But anyway,
Yep.
so let's get back to this game. What else?
I was going to say I don't think we should dwell on this particular game too long. I mean, we lost the game. The season's over. I mean, we can give kicks and game balls and all that stuff all we want. But I think one of the important things where we were kind of heading to with that McVay conversation is that sort of plays into Kirk Cousins and what we all think about Kirk Cousins moving forward for the Redskins. So, let's open up that conversation.
I got tons more to talk about at this game.
We'll talk about it then.
All right, I just was reading Michael Graff's comment about Joe Barry, and I have to say,
Why is defeated on the staff still?
I do have to
Why is
say, why is
defeated
he on the
still on the
staff?
staff?
But in the second half, in this game, this one game, it wasn't the defense that lost it for us.
True, absolutely. One game out of 32
But I'm
is
still,
pretty special from the last 2 years.
Yeah, but I mean, he's.
I know what you're
horrible, but
saying. Yeah, I agree. This one game, for half of it, he was really good.
They didn't give up any points in the second half
Yeah,
at all.
Which shows, back to my argument from a few weeks ago, is Joe Barry awful and needs to get fired, or is he a genius for using half of a defense that works at 7-Eleven and can't get NFL jobs on any other team?
Well, I kind of see your point now. 2 weeks ago, I completely disagreed with you, but now I'm seeing your side of the coin there. And especially
I'm
when
not
you
saying
hear
it's
how
right.
much-
I'm just saying it's. I mean, you could look at it from both sides. Personally, I think he needs to go, but I mean, you could also be like he's worked way more than just about anybody else has. He's also defeated though.
Well,
Defeated.
he is defeated. But I think he needs to go. Yes, I do think he needs to go. But when you looked at that stat, and I'm sure Rabbit Rads has it right at her hand, how much we paid our defense compared to offense in salary cap, it's like less than 25% of the money goes to defensive players, and one of those dudes is Josh Norman, who gets however many million he got this year.
Yeah.
Was he worth it?
We'll get into that.
Not in this game.
Not in this game. I was about to. Oh my goodness.
It was such. I mean, it was a microcosm of the whole thing. The whole thing for the weekend, where everyone's like, "Oh, we're gonna beat them," blah blah blah, not even thinking about it, planning ahead for next week's playoffs, blah blah blah. And Josh Norman did exactly what he should not have done, and Odell Beckham was just like, "It's cool, it's cool, it's cool."
Josh Norman, dude, the thing that made me most mad about that one bonehead penalty he got on Beckham was he's over there trying to fight with Beckham, and the ball carrier wasn't even tackled yet. I was like, run over there and help tackle him. And you're over there like fighting like a little girl with Beckham Jr.
Dude, that was bugging the crap out of me. I just got tired of watching that happen.
Even the announcers, for once in my life, I agreed with Joe Buck when he was like, "Can we stop watching this stuff? This
Seriously.
fighting is getting pretty old." Yeah, it's ridiculous. I guess they think they're cool for doing that. They just look so babyish.
If he's the leader of the defense, and I've heard some players say that he's a big part of defense, but he's not a leader on the team. I think his actions in this game pretty much sum that up. Why he's not.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I mean, he can't keep himself in check. You watch Odell Beckham Jr., and he did take some of the first shots, but everybody knows it's the guy that finishes up that gets in trouble. And he just, no matter what happened, he needed to keep himself in check. And I just don't think he's got it in him to do that. If you want to be a leader, you gotta prove that you can do that.
Can you imagine if we had had him and D'Angelo Hall there the whole 16 games?
Yeah.
What could have happened?
We
And
got
we don't
some
know if
folks.
we're going to have him back. We don't
I
know.
know. We don't know a lot of things. There's some folks chiming in. Michael Graff was saying, I think Barry did well in the second half. McVay had his moments, but ultimately the whole coaching staff was inconsistent. It was like Marvin Lewis was coaching us, emotionless.
Yeah.
There's more talent on the offense than the defense. Yep. Yes, Alamo, we survived the worst years with Spurrier and Sorn.
I don't know. Their clock management was very, very Zorn-esque. Josh has been railing on it all year. It gets worse
all year long. It's been bugging the crap out of me, dude. It's like he doesn't know what to do with the clock. What do we added up? There was like 4 minutes worth of wasted time or something on the season. I bet he wishes he had that 4 minutes back.
Michael Graff does have a good point on that play where Josh Norman had his face mask yanked and they didn't say anything about
that.
it.
Is true. That is true. Yeah, that should have been that was bad. No call against him on that.
Yeah. And I saw Jeff Triplett was in one of the 1 o'clock games, and I was like, well, at least we don't have to have that clusterbuckle of an officiating crew again that we had for the Browns game, which I missed.
Dude,
I wish I'd gone back to see that.
Dude, not even Goodell, Dictator Goodell would have put Jeff Triplett in charge of the Norman Beckham feud game.
Jeff Triplett.
He didn't want to see that debacle, that refereeing debacle. If Jeff Triplett was in charge of that,
we could have had Booger.
Did we even have Booger all year?
We may have had him earlier in the year,
Norman.
like in September.
Josh Norman.
Yeah. Yeah, personal foul, Josh Norman.
Josh Norman, that's on you. You shouldn't have retaliated against him. That would have been Jerome Booger, right?
Did not have retaliated.
Retaliated.
On my way.
So I mean, let's talk about since we're talking about Josh Norman, he's a big price tag here, and what this does to us moving ahead. The salary cap goes up next year.
Yep.
The predicted salary cap next year is going to be somewhere between 163 and 165 million dollars.
Yeah.
And this year it's at 155. So, that's a $10 million jump. Now, if you think about that, and we have options with Kirk Cousins, which we haven't got into talking about, is Kirk Cousins worth it? What should we do with Kirk Cousins moving forward? But we do have the option to franchise him another year, put the tag on him.
I think that's a good point. But I think if we franchise him for a second year, he's going to leave after this year. He's going to be gone. He's already not at all sounding like Kirk Cousins did last year in negotiations in the offseason. This year he's like, oh, we'll see how it goes. And it's like, whoa, that's completely different coming from him. I mean, we need to sign him to a long-term contract and do it.
Yep.
Get it done.
And he knows he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
And he knows very well in his head what those contract numbers need to be.
Yeah.
He's going to want like $5 million or 5 years, $100 million or something.
5 years between 5 years. It's going to be between 100 and 125 million. 5 years.
Oh my goodness.
And who knows how much guaranteed? 70 million.
Yep.
80 million. I mean, I don't think Sean McVay is going anywhere, but Kirk Cousins is going to get one hell of an offer from the 49ers because they don't have shit for quarterbacks. They're in terrible condition over there.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, a lot of teams do not have good quarterbacks on their roster. Kirk Cousins, top 15 quarterback right now in the NFL.
The Bills.
He's gone through 4 years. He's not even started like maybe half the games.
Yep.
Maybe a little over half the games.
He played
and he's still a really young quarterback.
Can we talk about this?
Aaron Rodgers didn't even start till his third year or fourth year.
Right. He just play? He played every game this season. Did he play every game last season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's
I mean,
a lot. He's already played.
32 games.
He's already played in 2 years more games than RG3 did in 4, right?
In his whole career.
I mean, did he?
By
I'm
multiple
asking
teams.
that. I'm
And
sure
Yes,
Rabbit
he
Rads
has
knows.
to. He must have.
I don't know.
Like we made
Speaking
it.
of RG3, he proved himself. At least he thinks he did. He proved himself this
He
week.
threw 2 touchdown passes and an interception, I think.
Yeah.
I
You
think
know
he
who
was
else
trying to
proved
say he
themselves?
proved himself to himself.
You know who else proved themselves? The Bills. Did you from that kickoff?
Dude, what was that?
What in the world? If you guys didn't see that, they just let a kickoff roll.
I wasn't
Went down.
watching it, and Aaron
They-
had to tell me, and I had to go back and watch it. It was,
Yeah, they kicked it, and the guys just let it roll, and it rolled into the end zone, and the Bills just stood there.
And they just stood there and let the Jets just dive on it for a touchdown.
And they were
dive
like,
on
oh,
it."
crap, late.
Oh, that wasn't a punt?
Has anyone ever seen that in the NFL before?
No.
Never.
I've seen it in high school, maybe. Nope. Come to
I
think of
saw
it,
it.
I haven't.
I saw South Carolina State do it against Clemson this year. It's the only time I've ever seen it.
Did
I
you
don't
really?
even know who South Carolina State is.
It's a very small school. I didn't say South Carolina upstate. I think I said South Carolina just state.
Wait,
Anyway-
South Carolina State stood there and watched it happen, and Clemson dove on the ball?
Yeah,
Where
and
the
Okay, that
Clemson
Instance
makes
went
knowledge.
sense.
from
I was like,
14 to
if
20.
it's the other way around, something's really wrong.
No.
The
Guy
N
from
stands
South-
for knowledge.
The guy from South Carolina State caught it and just threw it to the ref. He didn't down the ball, and the ref just like let it bounce off his chest and looked at it. He literally went, boom. What?
Dude, you got to take a knee.
And then did Clemson dive on it?
Yeah, but it was too. Or yeah, he started to go after it, but a Clemson guy was already diving on it at that point.
Oh man.
It's crazy.
Crazy. Anyway, I think we should sign Cousins to a long-term deal. And it's going to be just like everything else. Like, whenever I see something in a store, like a piece of furniture or something, I'm like, oh, I want that. It's always like 30% more than I want to pay, no matter what it is. I could just look at it and be like, I think that should be $100, and it would be $130. It happens every time I'm interested in buying something, and I think that's how it's going to be with Cousins.
Well, Cousins, if we franchise him again, it's going to be almost that. I mean, it's going to be 25% more, just about.
And you can
Yeah.
kiss them goodbye after the
I mean,
season. He'll be
if we
gone.
franchise him, I think it's $24 million, if I remember correctly.
It's
It
24
is.
now.
And they,
Yes.
they
I don't remember.
I read they could franchise him a third time, and it would be something like $36 million or something.
Oh yeah, it just keeps
Yeah.
growing and growing. But that's
insane.
stupid. You know, if you look at the contract and say 100 to 125 million over 5 years, you're paying him 25 million a year anyway. And then they get into the what's guaranteed, what's not, and that whole other set of backdoor options for them to, move along. But it's, it is what it is.
We need to sign him. We need to sign him to a deal, dudes, because we've got bigger fish to fry in problem areas like the defense and Sean Laval's side of the line. And Sheriff
Yeah.
played bad in this game.
Dude,
Yeah, the last 3 games, Sheriff went downhill a lot. I
Yeah.
don't know if he was nursing injuries or what, but
Once he made the Pro Bowl.
he's like, yeah, that's the only bowl I'm making this year. That and the Ben's Chili Bowl.
Ben's Chili. The Ben's Chili, Morgan Temple.
Dude, why doesn't
Stamp.
Ben's Chili Bowl sponsor a bowl in DC? Seriously.
It
Ben's
could just
Chili
be called
Bowl.
the Ben's Chili Bowl.
It should just be called the Ben's Chili Bowl.
Yeah.
Sponsored by
That'd be
Ben's
perfect.
Chili Bowl.
Sponsored by Ben's Chili Bowl.
I don't know,
Right.
dude. I don't know. I really don't. All right, what are we talking about now? Are we going to do our game balls and kicks and then just talk about
Before we
general
do that, a
Redskins stuff?
couple of chat comments here. Chris J agrees with you, John, and me. I think we need to sign Cousins. I think we're all in agreement, Aaron. We need to sign Cousins.
Yeah, he's just going to be 30% more than I want to pay, but yeah, we should do
Right.
it.
And really, who cares? It's not our money.
Yeah, you're
Now,
right.
Mike Grass said I would
Yes,
hate to
it's
see
just like-
Cousins go, but I think Seattle and Dallas have proven if you draft a capable QB. The thing is, you don't know if they're going to be capable. I think everybody coming in with RG3, we thought he was going to be like our savior. He was going
How
to be.
many quarterbacks have been drafted in the last 5 years, and who has been a good starter? Russell Wilson.
It's
Yep.
usually like a fourth rounder
Dak
that it
Pres-
ends up being good.
Yeah, Dak Prescott behind
Or
that
is it
great
just a
offensive
flash
line
in
there.
the pan? That's the question. And
Those guys
actually, Yeah, John. I mean, with Russell Wilson, I mean, you can see what he's done, but like Dak Prescott, he's got 1 year. Okay, so what's going to happen in his sophomore season? We don't
Yeah.
know. They
Dude,
don't know.
And John, back to your point of who cares, it's not our money. Well, the reason why I do care is because we do have a limit on, as a team, how much we can spend each year.
Right, yeah, as a salary cap, and that's true, and that's something you have to keep in mind for sure. But I mean, if it's a difference between giving him 24 million a year or 25 million a year, just give him 25 damn million a year.
Right. We still got money if we give them 25 million a year.
Yeah, Dan Snyder.
There's still money to rebuild our defense.
Yeah, Dan Snyder.
We've still got plenty of money. Just give it to them.
And the first person to re-sign on defense is Chris Baker, who's a free agent.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And the first person to trade, I've already said this,
Jordan Reed.
Jordan Reed. See what we can get for him, as Danny once said.
You think he's too fragile?
He's way too fragile. Rabbit Rats, how many games has he played? How many has he missed?
I think he's still a playmaker, man. I think we can still get another good season or two out of him.
When he's healthy, he's a really good playmaker. I mean, he's a great playmaker. He's one of the top tight ends in football.
Yeah,
We just got to find him some pads where he won't get hurt.
But you know what, dude?
lot
It's like when you got to trade in that car before the transmission goes out. Well, you got to do it now, or it's not going to be worth anything.
I think we should send Jordan Reed out in one of those like blow up sumo wrestling outfits.
Baby
So like
bird.
when he falls down, he just kind of rolls around and people have to help him up. But he could still, he
Look,
could still get downfield and make some catches, right?
yeah.
If he can catch with
Alamo
a broken
City
arm,
Music
he
is-
can a separated shoulder. He can catch in a sumo outfit.
Alamo City Live Music in the chat, if you go to Harry Hog Football on YouTube, is telling us we have about 70 million in cap space.
Yeah.
We're doing all right.
Yeah.
He's saying
Yeah.
if we sign a free agent, get a defensive line man. And I'm like, is that getting a defensive line, like the entire thing, man, or getting a defensive lineman?
Get in
Because
the
I'm-
defensive
Count.
line, comma, man.
I think
Yeah.
we should get
That's
a
what-
defensive line, like the entire thing. I don't know about in free agency because we don't want another Albert Haynes. What's he doing? Oh, he's hanging out at Say-Say's.
Aren't we still paying him?
Welcome to CC.
Welcome to. Hey, if you can give Albert Hainsworth $100 million without even playing a snap, you can give Kirk Cousins $100 million.
Yeah, dudes. Why would you give all that money to Albert Hainsworth ever? And you've got Kirk Cousins sitting right here. Definitely a top 32, top 16, so bottom or top half of the NFL quarterbacks. Give him money.
Dude,
Is he as good as the Ginger Ninja?
yeah. Dude,
Then
I
he
think
should get paid. He should be paid more than him.
Ninja.
I think John is.
I call
really,
him the Ginger Ninja.
I think John is really starting to feel better because he's starting to get fiery. When I brought up Albert Hainsworth, you could see that spark
I
coming
hate
back to
him.
him.
You can see the flame in his eyes.
Oh,
John,
goodness.
Albert
Yes,
Hainsworth.
dude. I
No, don't do it, dude.
Albert.
hate him. Hate him. Cut.
There it was. That was like John's
Cut.
first full throat cut in like a
That's a
year.
good full cut. Nice.
Here, let's just name players and personnel on the Redskins. Let's just call this cut or not. And kind of like when
Am I
John
cut or not?
used to go to amihot.com. This would be am I cut or not? Cut or not.
I'm registering
Am I-
that domain right now.
Am I cut or not? Dot
And people
com.
can just go on and vote. Cut.
So here, I'm going to name someone, and you guys say cut or not, and give the symbol at the same time.
All right.
Joe Barry.
Oh my God. Cut.
You forgot the sign, the symbol. You're on video. There you go. All right. Josh, you didn't weigh in.
Cut.
Jordan Reed, traded, cut or not?
It depends on
cut.
what we do with the other two wide receivers.
All right. Who do you want to keep between these guys? Well, this is another conversation. But
Pierre
let me-
Garcon, because he has heart, and Deshaun
Agreed.
Jackson is done with Washington. He
Dude,
doesn't-
I agree. I think
We sign
Deshaun
him.
wants out.
yeah, if we sign him to something and he takes a great contract from us, that's way more than anyone else would pay him, he'll be lazy. He'll be like a little like mini Albert Hainsworth. He'd be like Al Hainsworth. He'd be like one of those really little guys, and then he'll get hurt a lot.
Dude, I think definitely we keep Pierre Garçon. If I had my choice between him and Deshaun Jackson, you saw his heart in this game on that touchdown run.
Yep.
He was playing to win. That dude's big time when you need him to be.
And Mason Foster. Good Lord.
And Mason Foster was playing above his talent level in this game. He had, at one point, they said he had 17 tackles. I'm sure Josh knows, and if not, Rabbit Rads does. And Vernon Davis, he was a surprise this year, but I definitely think that he just goes to my point with us trading Jordan Reed to see what we can get for him. Like maybe a star defensive lineman or something. We still have VD hanging out.
That's not a bad trade to think about. But at the same time, I kind of think this might be this might have been the best of what's left of Vernon Davis.
The best left of VD.
The best of what's left.
In VD's tank.
In VD.
It's what they always say. The announcers are like, well, they didn't really know what he had left in the tank.
VD, how much do you have left in your tank?
Dude, they have like these cliches that all announcers use. Like, he's going to have to dig deep and see what he can come up with. And
he needs to go and take a blow on the sideline.
Oh, there was one really bad one that Joe Buck said in this game. I'm trying to remember what it was. Do you remember, John?
I think when Joe Buck says stuff like that, I think he says it like tongue in cheek because he knows it's bad, and he kind of says it to be funny.
Oh man,
I forget what it was too, but
there was a couple funny ones that he said in this game, and I was just like, oh my.
Oh, Aaron. All right. So what else? How many more people do we have to put on the cut or not list?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got sidetracked.
Am I cut?
With this whole chat thing, I kind of like it because it gives us some more insight because we forget stuff. We're so old. Been doing this for over 12 years. Let me think. Am I cut or not? .com.org. Okay, I got one for you. Dustin Hopkins. Competition in camp?
Competition in camp. Let's see what he does with someone sitting there like barking up behind him.
Oh my goodness. He went downhill really quickly.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
I'm saying
we are now the proud owner of amicuttornot.com, so we'll get something going on that.
Am I cut or not?
All right, let me see who else. I don't even have the roster in front of me, but I'm thinking about this. Oh, I got one. Dunbar.
Yes. He's better than some other people back there. But if we're looking to like really, if we're going to do like the Giants did last year and spend like $200 million on our defense,
Ahinachu.
Oh geez, Ahinachu. Cut.
Nacho.
Cut.
Chris J just said, John, you're giving Joe Buck too much credit.
I can't stand that tool.
John doesn't give him any credit ever. John can't stand him either, more than me. In fact, John calls him Joe something that we don't really say on the podcast all the time.
Who, Joe Buck?
Yeah.
He's all right. I've seen him enough to see that a lot of stuff that he talks about, he knows he's funny and he knows he's saying stupid stuff, but he kind of laughs at it.
And he loves the Cowboys and Troy Aikman.
He loves the Cowboys, dude.
Yeah, he does. That's bad.
You know why?
More specifically,
because he loves Troy Aikman. Secretly.
Dude, he loves Troy Aikman.
Secret
Have I told
lover.
you lately that I love you, Troy?
Hey, John, speaking of, is Aaron Neville didn't come in to the show this year?
Aaron Neville is not around lately. He might be able to be back a little bit maybe next season, but he is not 100%.
Aaron Neville. Do you have any Christmas album?
All right, yeah, Chris J. What about D Hall? Cut or not? I'm gonna say no. Not if we have Iahinacho there. Let's see what he's got left in the tank.
Let's see what he's got left. He's had a lot of leg injuries the last 2 years.
I think we give him one more go.
I think we bring him to camp, and if he sucks in camp, we let him go.
Right.
Let's let him compete for a roster spot.
Remember when D Hall would get penalties and we used to think he was hot headed?
I know. That's what I was saying earlier. If we have him and Josh Norman.
Yeah, but the thing is Josh Norman and Beckham Jr., when they're fighting, they remind me of like the two dudes from Zoolander, like Owen Wilson and what's his name? Ben Stiller. Like,
I know, dude. What was that? What was Josh Norman trying to punch him? Did you see that punch? The punch to the gut.
Yeah, he like, dude, that's what they're like. They're like,
I hate you.
the play's still going on, but I'm gonna lift you up, Beckham, and carry you off to the sideline, and then set you down.
And then set you down.
Dude, I can't take it. I mean, it's like, dude, seriously.
Oh yeah, it's the most childish like back up 5th grade boys. We're trying to like slap each other in the face
With helmets on.
with helmets on.
Oh my god.
What the hey?
And everyone's
What the
sick
hey?
of it. I think everyone's sick of it. Like, can we please just play some football?
Yeah.
Right.
But with that said, though, yeah. At least Odell Beckham Jr. didn't cry in this game.
No, Odell Beckham, like he straightened himself up. That's why it was the microcosm of the whole thing. Instead of Josh Norman getting on his nerves and him going crazy like in the first game, he was all calm, cool, and collected. And Josh Norman was the one getting penalties. As I keep sniffing through this cold, getting penalties over and over, and getting himself and his team in trouble.
He punches balls to create fumbles.
I've heard that.
Is that what Joe Buck said?
He's a ball puncher.
Is he a ball puncher? He's a ball puncher.
He's a ball puncher.
Anyway, okay, well, let's give our game balls and kicks, and then what? What do we want to do? Round this out, and next week we're going to come back and have our games and kicks for the year, right?
For the entire season?
Yeah, we have to have time
we'll have to
think
do
about
the
that.
yeah, exactly.
Anyway, let me see here. Let me find the sound effect for this. Hey, while I'm finding this sound effect, everyone, if you're on here and you have not subscribed, please subscribe. We just need like a few more, and we can get our own URL.
Subscribe on our YouTube channel.
Otherwise, YouTube is like, you guys are not popular enough to have your own URL. You have to use this one with
We all know it's popularity contest.
NVGEMBWE1W4 at the end of it.
Josh, you're totally right about that. It's like this might as well be the Pro Bowl.
That's right. Plus, they'll start putting awesome ads on our podcast every time we do it.
Everywhere.
It'll probably be like, this week's Aerial Football sponsored by X-Lax.
It'll be like, you can skip this in 5 seconds. And it'll be Matthew McConaughey like, I love this Lincoln. Oh yeah, all right.
All right.
The leather in this.
He'll be like,
hello, son.
I don't want to sit in the back seat. And they'll be like, well, that's such a bad idea.
He's like, for some reason, I'm standing out here in this ankle-deep water, and I'm going to get this Lincoln.
Like, we'll be trying to talk about the Redskins, and suddenly there's a close-up of Matthew McConaughey putting his contact lenses in.
Yeah, what is that?
He is a Redskins fan, though. Anyway.
He is a Redskins fan.
All right, here we go. And now,
he actually
the coveted and ever-elusive Game Ball Award. Game Ball Awards, brought to you by Ritapoo. Who wants to go first?
I'll
go if you're not ready.
All right, I'm gonna go.
All right,
you go.
Go for it.
All right, I'm gonna have to go with Mason Foster.
Oh, that was mine.
I knew Josh was going to take him too.
You didn't want Martrell Spate?
Oh,
I'm going with Mason Foster, dude, because he played like insane in this game. He had the deflected pass. That deflected pass that kind of could have turned the game around for us, even though we went 3 and out. It was huge, and he had like a billion tackles. He was one of like 5 Redskins that actually came to win that game.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. That's who I was going with. I guess, and he's played well all season, so he's a contender for me looking ahead to next week. Because I think he just kind of showed up out of nowhere. It was like he's been quiet, doing his job. We don't talk about him a whole lot. He's done well. I'm going to give my game ball to Tressway. I felt like he's consistent.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. He's consistently punted well for us. That's probably going to pull up what he had here. He had 7 punts on the day. We made him punt 7 times. He dropped one of them inside the 20, but 59 yards. But we were pushed way back deep on a lot of that stuff. And
you guys love to give the punter your game ball.
What?
You guys love giving the punter your game ball.
That's pretty sad, isn't it?
We can
Sometimes
ask
the punter can be your best weapon, man.
We can ask
I like to look
Rabbit
at the
how many
special
times.
teamers.
She'll know how many times you guys have given the game ball to punters in the last year.
That would be especially, yeah, I've done that a lot. But I do that every year.
Yeah.
Or I kick them, depending on who we have. My game ball goes to Pierre Garçon.
Yeah, I buy that. He's reliable. We got to get him back. Did Gruden say something about him today? About him not coming back?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Haven't listened to Gruden since I turned off the game at 0-0. Well, sorry, after the downed extra point that the refs decided they had to make the Giants take.
What was that? Have you ever seen that
Giants
in a game
were
before?
like, what?
I don't understand. They're like, by rule, they have to kick the extra point. Why? Why? Have you ever seen that in a game? The game ends with a touchdown. You don't need the extra point. The game is over.
I've never seen that.
Oh,
I don't understand that whatsoever.
Here's what Gruden said today. Oh, stop trying to play that. He said, it is our job to make sure we target the ones we definitely want back that really have an impact on this football team, not only from a talent standpoint, but from a leadership standpoint. Both of these areas are very important to me, almost more so as a leadership standpoint.
Pierre Garçon.
And he was referencing Garçon and Jackson.
In other words, they're going to let Jackson go.
Yeah.
I would.
I can see it.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, some people in the we're going to call this what should be our nickname for the chat room on YouTube? They got to have like a name, like a cool like.
Oh yeah, for the chat room, we need to come up with a
not the peanut
pig
gallery, but the pig pen.
The pig pen.
The hog sty. Anyway, people over in the chat room are saying, let me get their game balls up here. Michael Graff gives his to Jamison Crowder. He showed a lot of passion. He did. He wasn't getting the ball very much for the biggest part of the game, and he was getting so frustrated. But then he had a huge catch late in the game. I don't even remember the specifics, but I remember like he's due, and he's been trying to get that the whole game. And
his returns are solid.
His returns, yes.
Yeah.
Dude, I think we've watched Crowder grow up this year. I think it's like we stopped thinking of him as like this good potential product that's come out of Duke, and he's like solidified himself as a viable returner, a viable receiver, a deep threat. He's versatile in a lot of ways. And I think that's another reason that, if Deshaun Jackson goes away, I think Crowder is one of those guys that's going to fill some of that deep threat, hole that Jackson would leave behind.
Yeah, he is going. He's going away. He's either going to Dallas or the Eagles.
We may as well hop around the whole NFC East.
And if we're gonna pay Cousins too, then we're not gonna be able to pay him also and Garçon. He's gone, dude.
Yeah.
Him and Jordan Reed are gone.
No, not Jordan Reed.
I don't think Jordan Reed's gone.
All right, Rabbit Rads. This just in. Joe Jacoby from Louisville has been named as finalist in the Hall of Fame. Will we be going to yet another Hall of Fame induction for a Hog this summer?
Could happen.
If he gets elected.
Hey, you guys remember when Harry Hog Football, all three of us were on ESPN during the last Hall of Fame game that was that the Art Monk one or was that the Russ Grimm one?
That had to be the Russ Grimm one.
Yeah, we were on TV on ESPN during that game. So you guys may remember us from the broadcast.
Hanging out with the Hogettes.
If you saw that.
Hanging out. Yeah, we'll see. If he gets elected, which he should.
He should. He
should have already been in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway,
Agreed.
that's good news that he's in the finalists for that. And Rabbit Rads also points out that Crowder ended the season with the #1 return average in the NFL, which is awesome. I also wanted to point out that I think Garcon went over 1,000 yards for the season in this game.
He did.
So anyway,
just another reason to keep him.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, what else do we want to? We want to go into our kicks now.
Kicks. Yeah. Kick the whole team.
Dude,
Go
the
on.
pig pen over here is like they really get me distracted. Anyway, so you guys still listening on iTunes? You may want to check out the YouTube live feed, which is also then archived just like a normal video podcast on YouTube, so you can watch it. You don't have to be tuning in live to watch the YouTube feeds.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and get to this. It's
Can we
time
kick some
for
balls
this
now?
week's Kicking the Balls Award. Kicking the Balls Awards. Go, Josh.
Oh gosh, man.
I'll do mine. Joe Barry. Bye-bye.
But he had a good
Cut.
second half.
He did have a pretty good second half. I can't fully kick Joe Barry this week.
I can't either because it wasn't the
Can't
defense.
fully kick him this week. He had a good second half.
It wasn't the defense that lost it for him.
The defense gave up 161 yards rushing. It was the Giants' worst or best rushing game of the year.
Yeah, but
3
0
weeks ago, he
points in
gave
the
up-
second half.
As I'm talking about for the whole season now, 3 weeks ago against the Carolina Panthers, he gave them their best rushing game of the year. It was the only time that Jonathan Stewart went over 100 yards for the whole year. As a matter of fact, the last time he went over 100 yards was the last time they played us in 2015. Joe Barry, cut.
John is getting fired up.
He's getting
There
fired.
might be a little bit of that for next week when we do the games and kicks for the year.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and give mine. I'm going to give my kick in the balls to John Gruden. I'm going back to the clock management.
John
Gruden?
Can't let it go. I'm sorry. Barf. What's his name?
Jay Gruden.
John J. Jingleheimer.
AKA
Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Yeah,
AKA
exactly.
Barf.
Jay Gruden gets my kick. I can't get over the stupid.
It's crazy.
He can't manage a clock. I mean,
He doesn't get better.
and he just
gets
stands there
worse.
on the sideline and looks all pissed off. Like, man, I suck at managing a clock, and they're making me do it again.
He just needs to get Barf Jr. to do it. He's there.
I know.
He's on
He's,
the sideline.
he's there,
not
standing
doing
there with
anything.
his surface right beside
I
him.
mean, he doesn't even have to
With the
carry.
surface.
He doesn't have to like coil the coach's headset cable anymore because it's all wireless. He could at least manage the clock.
Barf Jr., he could just before the game, they could be like, Barf Jr. is the guy that's going to be calling timeouts.
He'll just tap his dad and be like, time out, time out,
Timeout, Dad.
time out,
Timeout, Dad.
time out.
Seriously.
All right, are you ready for
And
my?
he's
kick in the
old
balls?
enough. He's got like a little semi-beard.
I wanted to go. I'm actually going to go with a player, and I was thinking about going with Josh Norman because of the penalties, but I got to go with Kirk Cousins, dude. 2
That's
picks.
you in
Yeah.
Alamo City saying the same thing.
Yeah.
That last pick was, dude. We had a chance.
And
Say what you want about the defense and about Joe Barry and about how bad they are, but they gave Kirk Cousins the ball with what 3 or 4 minutes, all our timeouts, and he choked. And now he turns around and wants $100 million the next day, literally.
And the last thing you remember is him making that really poor decision on that pass.
It was horrible. We had plenty of time. I don't know if he was trying to. He did some weird double pump thing and then just threw it
He
badly.
did. It was like a weird, quick double pump, like a last-second decision or something. It was
horrible.
strange.
It sucked.
Yep.
John.
Cut.
Cut.
I said we could sign him for $1 million today. I'll go with that.
$1 million.
That
Anyway,
said,
so that's
we
who
need
mine has to
sign
go
him.
to.
We need to sign him. Every quarterback has a bad day. Every quarterback makes poor decisions.
Yes, we had to sign him, but still. All right.
Yeah.
Let me see. What else? Who else wants to kick someone here in the pig pen? Let me see. Alamo City, Kirk.
Kirk. Gruden for looking like a lost puppy.
The whole defense in the first half.
Rabbit rats.
The offense for the whole game. How many yards rushing did we have in this game? More or less than against Carolina?
That's a good question.
Or even against...
It's close.
What did we have in this game? Like 7 yards rushing?
Our yards rushing in this game, we had 38 yards total.
38!
38.
But we only gave up 161.
Yeah, dude, but Kelly had 12 carries for 33 yards. That doesn't get it done. Do the math. Doesn't get it done.
Well,
Chris
I
Thompson
can't even
had
blame
3 carries for 5 yards.
I can't even really blame McShay for going away from the run on this one, though, because we weren't getting anywhere at all. At all.
You know, I mean,
Maybe
when you
he
look
needs
at
to be a little bit more creative.
You are correct. You are correct, sir. Yes.
Maybe.
you look
maybe.
at Kirk's numbers, I mean, he was 22 for 35 on the day with 246 yards passing. I mean, 287 yards.
Who?
Kirk Cousins.
And 2 picks. Especially
I
a
think-
very crucial one that could have sent us to the playoffs if he didn't.
2
throw it.
picks. Yeah. 1
I
touchdown.
have one thing to say about Ben McAdoo, who is actually 2 kids, one dressed up with a trench coat and a fake mustache and a wig on his head on the shoulders of another kid trying to get into like an adult club. Ben McAdoo at the end of the game actually said, we're going to go for 2 points and we're going to down it. So he didn't try to get like that extra 2 points against us or anything like that. He was just like, we're going to down it. No big deal. Just finish it off.
Yeah.
I thought that was a bit of a classy move by those 2 kids.
Yeah.
By those 2 kids.
Bill Belichick never would have done that. Hoodie.
You know
No,
what?
Bill,
The stands had the surface, and he was feeding in the plays.
that kid was funny.
That little kid, oh yeah, that Giants kid in the stands, he gets my game ball because that was hilarious.
I guess the kid behind him was the kid on the bottom. I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Sick,
on the
dude.
shoulders up.
Sick.
Alamo City points out 29 yards rushing in the Carolina game. So look on the bright side. We are improving.
Look on the bright side of this
Huh.
too. By us losing that game to the Giants, because I don't think any one of us here, and probably not the people in the pig pen, actually thought with this horrible defense and Joe Barry, we were actually going to win the Super Bowl. Am I correct? Am I safe in that assumption?
I didn't think we were going to the playoffs.
Okay.
I would have been so completely surprised if we had made the playoffs.
All right. My point being, so by us not winning that game, on the bright side, we moved up a minimum of 5 spots in this upcoming draft.
Good point. Yeah, we came in at 17th.
Yeah,
in
we
the
would have,
draft.
if we made the playoffs, it would have been 12th as the worst, right? The worst we could have done. Worst draft pick.
12th?
And what's our
22nd.
pick now?
22nd.
We're 17th.
Yeah, the 20th pick. I don't know. You know what I mean. We would have had a worse pick.
We would have been worse.
So, anyway, I totally debacled that. But anyway, what I'm saying is we've got a better pick because of it. And we need a defensive person or 3.
Yep.
We're 3, 4.
And we need to spend a lot of time in free agency on defense. And a defense. First thing to do is to fire Joe Barry today and get a new
what's
defensive
up?
coordinator so they have time to look at the free agents, look at the draft, and get going.
I'm looking at Washington Post right now. We still have not fired McVay. Or
Joe Barry. I don't understand.
defeated.
You know what I would really hate, though, is if we hired Rex Ryan to be our defensive coordinator, and I saw that floating around somewhere today.
I heard he may be going towards television.
Okay.
And dude, what is up with Ricky Jean-Francois?
Ricky G.
Ricky Jean-Francois gets quoted every damn week. But
He's
what
that
does he
guy.
do?
He's that guy, man.
He's a guy that he gets
He's a
quoted
quote
all
guy.
the time. He is a quote guy.
He's
But
the
what
only
does he
guy
do?
He's the only guy that'll. I don't know.
He makes quotes.
Hey, Rabbit Rads mentioned that Wade Phillips is now available.
Bum Phillips' son.
Wade Phillips could be the defensive coordinator. We could snatch him up.
Alamo says we should have tried Wade Phillips 2 years ago.
Yeah, we
before
should have.
Barry.
Or he led the Broncos to the Super Bowl last year.
And we talked
with
about
awesome
that.
defense.
Right?
We've talked about that on the podcast.
Plus he's got some Dallas secrets up his sleeve, right?
Maybe.
He's
Maybe,
a locker
maybe
room
not.
guy.
Hey,
another thing Joe
he's a
Buck
locker
was like.
room guy.
He's a
motivator.
He's a real
Ricky
football
Jean,
player.
the motivator.
He's got a high motor.
Hey, I think Rabbit Rads is going to queue up the injury report for us. We
All
got
right,
a quick
yeah.
injury report.
We need to do
I know
the-
you got to wrap it up.
All right, here we go. The injury report with
But you
Rabbit
got
Rad.
to give Rabbit time to actually, get the info in
here
for
is Rabbit Rads with today's injury report.
Aaron's like, screw you, Josh. Rabbit Rats, get in there.
Rabbit Rads has all the stats at her fingertips at all times. It's called Google.
us. She sent you. Are you calling her up? You have her information. Are you adding her to this call?
Oh, is she ready? Did she send me an
Yeah.
email? Oh, let me look.
Yeah,
check my email.
you got it.
All right, give me just a second. I got to open my email. Talk amongst yourselves about something. Rabbit Rads. Let's see here.
Rabbit Rads is chiming in on the chat with this. I don't know if
Wait, Rabbit Rads is a dude.
what?
I just got the email from Rabbit Rads, who we thought was a girl, and it's a dude. He said,
hey,
"I am a
dude. We've been
dude."
saying her all the time.
He said, "I'm
Actually,
a
Why
dude."
did we think
Josh, you
it
had
was?
him amorphous today. You were
Oh,
going
yeah.
back and forth saying dude and chick.
Dude chick. I say dude
Okay.
to everybody. Doesn't matter.
All right, here
Dude.
we go. All right, here we go.
Dude.
All right, so here we go. I'm calling Rabbit Rads. Are you ready?
We'll find out.
Okay, hold on. All right, Rabbit Rads. Here we go. I'm trying to add him. You don't have to turn on your camera. All right. Are you guys talking amongst yourselves?
We're just waiting.
No,
on
we
you, man.
were trying to
This
hear.
is like a technological marvel. We're watching it unfold.
We're like
before
trying to
our
hear
eyes.
like Rabbit Rads jump in here and be like,
How do we even?
Kerrigan broke his finger.
Meanwhile, Kerrigan broke his finger. It was totally nasty. Basically, it was dangling. It was a middle finger. He was flicking everybody off afterwards. I'm making that part up.
But nobody knew it because his finger was hanging off to the side.
I know. It was just sort of hanging all off. It was a nasty break. Nasty. But did he go back in?
Who?
Did
I
go
don't
play
know if
with
he
the
came
broken
back
finger?
in after the hurt finger. He was bothered with a shoulder before that.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Mm. Apparently, Aaron's still having some technical difficulties.
I'm trying.
Um,
I need.
so-
Hey, Rabbit Rads. I need your actual Skype name. I don't
Oh,
think it's an email
well,
address.
It may not work this week, so Rabbit, keep feeding us on the chat, and we'll do it again next week.
Yeah.
But we do need your Skype info. The reason.
Oh, I think I typed it wrong. Hold on. Let me try.
Oh, hold on.
Keep
It's
talking.
totally Aaron's fault. Totally Aaron's fault. Rabbit Rads, hello?
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 It's not adding. I don't know why.
Who are you guys talking to?
I don't know. The reason our running has been so bad is that Kelly has had a knee messed up, but played injured, and he will
Yeah.
need surgery.
That's exactly correct.
That's what Rabbit Rads is saying.
Yeah, and says that he will need surgery. So that
Whoa, whoa. All right. I'm messing this up. I'm messing this up. Okay. Hold on.
Priest to add to the injury report that we don't know about.
I totally just I just screwed it up trying to add Rabbit Rads in.
Dude, what the heck just happened?
I don't know.
What
whoa,
was that? Aaron, what is 29th Street Video? Is that where you go to get your special video tapes?
Oh my goodness.
It's just you, Aaron, on the screen. That's like looking over at this big white bar.
It's like you and the screen at FedEx Field that you could feed in some sort of like nacho.
I totally messed it up. I don't even know how to get you back on the screen.
I don't know either. We're still here. You can hear us though, right?
Yeah.
I hope so.
All right. Anyway.
Oh, wait, you're back. You're back. You're back.
Alamo City points out March 7th is the NFL free agency start period where teams are permitted to start contract negotiations. So we'll keep an eye on that March 7th date.
Yeah.
Moving forward and trying to figure out what's going to happen between now and then. Michael Graff says he's dealing with the crying game twist that Rabbit Rads is a dude.
The crying game. All right.
All right. Oh, that's about it. I mean, one little bit of info. You know, it's highly possible. Are we done with all of this? Anything else? I just want to share that bit of information. You know, about the NFL branding.
Hey, while I was trying to do all that stuff, trying to add Rabbit Rads into the podcast, did you guys go through the injury report already?
Yep, been a dude this whole time.
Been a dude like my whole life.
Dude, why didn't you correct us?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway.
I apologize for the
making
inconsistency
assumptions.
from
I don't know why Rabbit Rad sounds like not a dude. I don't know why.
I thought he was not a dude because someone said he was a chick.
Somebody said that.
I thought
Like
somebody said that.
I'm with her right now or something.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, remember in the episode where we were all confused that someone else was using Rabbit Rads' account?
Yep. Because it was funny, Rabbit Rads. Here's something funny. Could it be possible? And I'm reading a bit of this. Could it be possible that the NFL will allow NFL branded condoms in the future?
This is a Josh thing.
Josh,
here.
what are you talking about?
This is not a Josh thing. I'm reading it.
On what?
I'm reading it on a very unreliable source. It's coming in by Sports by Brooks, and basically, what they're saying is for $50,000, the NFL would allow a licensee. So if you can get $50,000 together, Trojans or Lifestyles or whoever, you know, someone could have big swag on their condoms if they wanted to. You like
Big
that?
swag on the condom.
How about unrolling to you
Kirk
like
Cousins
that?
going, you like that?
You
If
like
you get the whole thing, you're in pretty
like
good
that?
shape.
For most people, it'd be like,
You like.
oh, man.
What else? Hey, what else do we have here?
Redskins rubbers guaranteed to break when you think you're covered.
Yeah, you're right.
Says Shanny's glass eye.
Shanny's glass eye. That was like the comment of the day.
Oh. And on that
Josh,
note,
we need to make a fake commercial for this for next episode.
We should. Redskins rubbers guaranteed to break when you think you're covered.